I want you to meet Nelson. Just a few months ago, Nelson was in a bad situation where he was working a 9 to 5 job, but he wanted to make a ton of money online. So he decided to try drop servicing. Fast forward to today, and he's made over $30,000 with this business model. And on his very first month, he made $9,000 worth of revenue. This entire video is meant to deep dive into his success. So that way, even if you were working a normal job, you can learn exactly how he was able to go to a 9 to 5 to making tons of money online this month alone. And over the course of this year, he's projected to make $250,000 worth of revenue. Let's deep dive into his journey and go over the 4 simple steps he followed to end up achieving crazy success in a matter of a few weeks. So Nelson, give me a brief overview of the business model that we started up together and just explain in your own words kind of how it all works.
Yes, so perfect. I started on the cleaning business. I'll
Yeah.
call it drop servicing, how you taught me outsourcing.
Yeah.
And it's a model I discovered with you. Is basically outsourcing the job to the labor to a team. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm outsourcing. I'm in residential cleaning and commercial cleaning, mostly residential, and I'm outsourcing the jobs to a cleaning company. Is a small, medium-sized company, so they have already experience in cleaning and everything, and pricing, everything related to cleaning. They have all the experience. So
Yeah.
it's basically outsourcing, drop servicing, however you want to call it. I discovered this business method with you about like a few months ago when you started out the community. I'll call it like that: drop servicing, outsourcing. But
Perfect.
that's mainly what I'm doing.
And do you ever have to like leave your house for this, or is it just?
No, never left my house for this.
Yeah, and that's kind of the nice part. And so the other company that's doing the jobs for you, right? They already have the training. Do you have to pay them for equipment or for any of the material costs, or like what's that look like?
No, everything is included. We set it out hourly rates, so I pay like 60% of the jobs, and they have all the equipment, all transportation. I don't have to worry about none of that because that's a little bit more complicated. They have the cleaning team, they are already trained, they have already the experience, they have all the equipment, so I haven't invested anything in equipment or transportation or something. Or
Perfect.
yeah.
I guess what were you doing before the cleaning company? Like what were you doing for like work or whatever? What you have going on?
Yeah, I was working a 9 to 5, bro. This is my first business. So I learned everything about business with you, from, opening a bank account, registering a business, everything. I didn't know nothing. That was just a little bit scary for me before. I always thought opening a business was something huge. It's a responsibility, but I mean, with you is easier. With the community, you're always following up with me, with all the guide that you give on the community, and everything is pretty helpful.
Awesome. So yeah, I kind of broke the business down into like 4 steps, and I want to like follow along your journey with each one of these steps. So I'm just going to ask you kind of, I guess, step 1, how did we come to choosing a niche and picking the location we set up in?
Well, about that, I think about choosing the niche and the location. I decided to try with my city just because it's close to me, and if something happened, but you don't have to do it. I haven't left my house, and I decided cleaning is because my dad has experience on cleaning, so he's a little bit of a mentor for me with that.
Yeah.
But for anyone watching this video out there, you don't need none of that. Like for pricing and stuff, I called around. I don't know how to clean myself, being honest. So
Yeah.
so you don't need to be an expert on it. Just have the right team. But yeah, it was like that. I chose my city and my dad and cleaning because my dad has experience on it.
And I think actually, yeah, you were my first, because you're in Montreal. You're my first client ever in Montreal. So when we were setting up the cleaning there, we made sure to do like all the market research, right? And just make sure that like, hey, this is actually going to work in this niche is going to work in this city before we actually get into it. So we did that together right before we kind of dove in. And you were talking about the pricing. That was actually my next step I was going to get into. I guess kind of like, what was it like finding the pricing, and like was I able to help you with that process, and did that all go smooth, or was it difficult? Like tell me kind of your experience with figuring out how to price out these clients.
Yeah. So basically, what I did is called around, like I'll say like 20, 30 companies in my city, and just call around. even you don't even have to call around. I've went to a couple businesses website, and they have already a quoting system. Well, I could just enter the description, let's say 5 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and they give me the price. So that was a pretty helpful thing. But it was pretty helpful on that, because I was pretty scared on that. Like, it's the first time trying your method that you taught me. I never did it before, and I was pretty scared, but you was always there, following up with me, with the community, giving sales tactic, cold calling tactics. You gave me a script to get,
Yeah.
to pitch the offer and to get the right pricing. But basically that, just call around, get the pricing, give a couple different examples of houses, and yeah, I got the pricing that way.
Yeah, so figure out the pricing is pretty easy, because I know like a lot of people, they come into it and think, oh my gosh, like how do you even price things out? And like don't you have to visit the property to do it? But like overall, you think like pricing difficult, not difficult?
No, not difficult for me, bro. A little bit at the beginning, but you just get it. Like, you just adjust. It's something that you have to test out. It depends on your cleaners too, but you'll get it at the end of the day. It's just test it out. And yeah, I'll say that it was just calling around. It's pretty similar with the other companies. Whenever I call them and I give them, let's say, I'll like to get a quote for a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and it's similar between companies. So not
Yeah.
that difficult.
Exactly. So, at this point in the business, you know what you're doing. You know how much you're charging for it, right? I think you also mentioned in there too, which is kind of the next step. We merged them. But while you were looking at how to quote out the clients you got, you were also calling around and figuring out, kind of simultaneously, you're figuring this out. How much am I paying my cleaners, right? Like what am I quoting my clients, and also who's going to clean for me and how much am I paying them? So I want you to just tell me, basically same thing as finding out what you're quoting clients. Like, how difficult was it to find cleaners, right? To find the outsourcer, and how long did it take you to basically find these guys?
Being honest, it took me like 2, 3 weeks. But
Mhm.
being honest, it's just me, because I was a little bit lazy, bro. Being honest,
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
and
Yeah.
I could have find them pretty quick. So I'll say I reach out to, let's say, 5 people, and the
Mhm.
fifth one was the one that I got. And yeah, they're the ones who are cleaning for me right now.
Awesome.
And yeah. Yeah,
Still
been
working
pretty
with
good.
them?
It's not that difficult. Even you give a couple tips on your community, on, let's say, if, because a lot of people out there watching the video might doubt, like, oh, they might steal my clients, sorry, or something
That's,
like that.
yeah,
Like, you
that's a
can
big.
literally test them out with a friend or a familiar member. Those are tips you give on your community. So, there's always a solution for something. So for those
Yeah,
kinds of
exactly.
situations, yeah.
You can always just get them to clean your house first, and don't even tell them it's yours, and then just see
Yeah.
what goes on, see if they move quick, see if they lie about the hours. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so,
Yeah.
um, yeah, there's tons of ways to kind of vet the cleaners, and yeah, go
Do it.
over them and give you the script, make it as easy as possible. And I guess, yeah, like the last thing, now you have everything in place. All you need is to get clients and then get them serviced. So I guess it's kind of 5 steps realistically. But let's talk about the getting clients. How are you getting your clients?
100% from you, bro, from Google Ads.
Yeah.
I don't have Google My Business. I don't have it in place. It's something important that you mentioned a lot. It's something important to get it in place, but it's all from Google Ads, from you. And yeah, I don't even do cold calling. I don't even have an Instagram, Facebook, nothing. I have to create it. So it's all from you. Yeah.
All the clients are just coming to you. There's no outbound. It's just all inbound. You just sit and relax and take them in.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. I just say
Perfect.
call, follow up. Yeah. Call them.
And I can't remember the last ad report. Maybe you do. What were we paying for leads on that last report I sent you? Maybe like a week or two ago.
It was like $12.50,
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
per lead. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. And like I guess how many of these leads are you closing? And yeah, how many of these leads are you closing? I know sometimes, people don't answer, but that's just the game, right? What percent would you say you close of the leads that come in?
Yeah, I close about 40% of the leads
Yeah.
they come in. Yeah, and yeah, it's pretty easy. Like, on the form, there's all the information. Phone number, email. It's important to follow up with the clients, send emails and texts, call them. That's an important part. But yeah, about 50% of the leads that come in, I close them.
Yeah, so we're closing around 40-50% at $12. I mean, we're basically on the higher end, probably around $30 per sign up. So if it costs you $30 to get a client, what are you charging? Like what's the average job worth to you? Like how much is your average client client?
So my average clients, like, I charge $42 per hour.
Mhm.
And my average client, like, you mean per
Yeah,
hour
like how many
or
hours? How many hours on average, right? I know there's
on
highs,
average? I'll say like 9 hours, 10 hours.
9, 10
And
hours.
yeah, and it's
Uh,
something, I told you, is I'm being a little bit greedy because I'm only taking long jobs. I have to, learn how to take shorter jobs, sorry. So
yeah.
4, 5, 6 hour cleans, So I just want to take the big jobs. So it's something that I have learned with you, you have recommended me to take, shorter jobs. But yeah, that's the average 9 to 8 hours. Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting a client for around $30, 8 hours. What is that? We're looking at probably like 300, 350 for a job. So after marketing, you're probably making $300, and then about half of that, you said, all right, around half more or less goes to your cleaners, and then you keep the other half for yourself.
Yeah.
Perfect. So every $30 you put in, you're essentially making $180 back out, and then you're just recycling that, and that's how the marketing's working.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the way. And the advantage of this is getting weekly clients, bi-weekly, monthly. I have right now like 2 monthly clients and one weekly. So it's
Yeah.
recurring revenue coming in.
And how much is that weekly job worth for you? I remember you were just talking about that.
Weekly jobs is, I had one that her wife was on a operation,
Mhm.
so it was 12 hours per week. Yeah, it was a big house. Yeah.
That's good.
And
That's
right now I have another one of 8 hours per week. I just closed a few days ago. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, because those subscription models, man, you just build them up, build them up.
Yeah,
Eventually, you don't even have to pay for marketing, and you still are making that reoccurring revenue, right? And that's how we build this passive income.
that's right.
Yes. How has it been with like the operational side and like the closing the leads and all of that, and like where have you been able to make those adjustments, right? And what has kind of changed from the start to now with this business?
I mean, you have helped me a lot. You with the community, also with the coaching calls. At the beginning, I was a little bit shy. Didn't have experience, but as time goes on, I got better on the phone. More confident, sending the quotes, taking the calls, and yeah, pretty good at the moment. I feel much more experience on sending the quotes, closing the calls, and with your tips and all your help, it has helped me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And right before we did this call, I know we just had like a 30-minute conversation about how to just close more leads, because like
Yeah, yeah,
the more you can close, the more money we're making. And at the end of the day,
yeah,
that's like the most important thing
yeah.
for both of us here. What's the monthly revenue looking like right now?
The monthly revenue or overall revenue, you said?
Yeah, let's just go with like last month's revenue or something like that. Like however much we made last month. I know last
Last
month's probably a bad example because it was Christmas and it was like a slower month normally around the holidays. But yeah, let's just do that number.
I mean, I could tell the first month what I did. We reached 9K in revenue first month.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, that was from November 11 to December 11. So yeah, it was 9K in revenue, and yeah, it was like 50% profit,
That
40%.
that
So
was my next question. How much of that was profit?
yeah,
And you mentioned you're coming from a 9 to 5, right? So are you still working that 9 to 5 now, or are you just doing this?
just doing this at the moment, bro. Yeah, being honest.
So I guess overall, how happy are you that you started the business? And would you go back? Would you do something different, or is this pretty much what you wanted to be doing?
No, bro. This is what I want to be doing. It's pretty exciting. I never imagined doing a business before or discovering this method. I always thought that business was something huge. I mean, like I said at the beginning, you have to be responsible and, stick to the process, be disciplined. But I mean, it's something achievable with you, your support in the community is something that it changed your mindset. Before I didn't have that mindset, of starting a business. I always thought, I needed a lot of money. I needed to be I don't know, the most intelligent person. But yeah, something that changed with you, and it's something that day to day, week by week, my mindset has changed, and I'll definitely stick with this. Is pretty good results, and I hope better results are coming. So yeah, I'll
Exactly.
definitely stick with this.
I also want to ask, like, what do you do on a day to day? Like, are you working all day, or are you just pretty much kicking back most of the day until a client kind of rings you up?
Yeah, just pretty much laid back, like you said. I just invest 1 hour a day, pretty much on this. It's just following up with my team, my cleaning team, with the customers. Sending quotes, just like an hour a day. Being honest, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quick check-in. Yeah, I mean, it's the same for me with mine now. Like, once every few days, I'll put 15 minutes in just to say if everything's going okay, and then from there I'm out. Because I have, your hour a day is probably the receptionist task, but and we're gonna work work on this shortly here where we get a receptionist so you don't have to answer the phone or hire the cleaners or manage them, right? We just have someone else doing that for us. So that's going to come shortly down the line here. I guess one of the last questions I had, were you skeptical before joining and signing up with me, or were you pretty good? Like,
No, I mean, I know you from a book community, so I didn't know you. Like, I started knowing you. I saw your page and stuff, and I saw your method, what you was explaining. I saw the results, and I decided to hop in. I think I was one of the first ones hopping in on this business medal. Yeah, and yeah, I wanted to try it out, and the cost is accessible for me. And I saw the results, saw your video, your TikTok page, so I decided to hop in. Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't too skeptical. We kind of were familiar with each other, so fair enough there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess the very last one here is in the end of it, was all the coaching, was everything we did together, was it all worth it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. It's definitely a mindset change, definitely all the tips you give, everything. It's basically changing my life, what I'm doing on the day to day. So definitely, I couldn't even imagine before not leaving my house, and doing all this remote.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a huge opportunity. I like it. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm happy I could help you out. Yeah, I appreciate your time today, Nelson. And feel free to watch back this video, see if there's anyone commenting, has any questions for you, and you can answer them in the comments below just as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I will I'll let you go for the day. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, I guess have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll probably chat again sometime next week.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. See you. Appreciate the time.
Nelson created and set this business up in such a short amount of time, and it only took him a few weeks before he started seeing profits. But to see the same results as Nelson, you need to make sure you're setting everything up properly. I have 2 of my own drop servicing businesses, and I've put together a proven framework that will work every single time. And people have paid me thousands of dollars for this information, but I put it out for the public right here in an easy to follow step-by-step video. So check out the video where I show you the step-by-step process that Nelson used. You can copy and paste it for your business and start making $10,000 a month in profit in only 60 days, just like Nelson.